Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics, and welcome to another edition of my Detroit Sports Show right here on blogtalkradio.com, live from McBain, Michigan, the northern outskirts thereof. I'm Taylor Phillips, your host. In this episode, I am checking back in on the Pistons. This is the Pistons edition here on Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. And if you have any opinions on the Pistons or want in on the conversation, want to join in on the conversation, just call this, dial this number, 646-478-4837. Again, that's 646-478-4837. I haven't had any callers in about a couple weeks, so I'd like some, please. So, the show is 15 to 30 minutes long, and it's recorded too. So it will be archived for everyone of you to always listen to it. Also, search me on Facebook, Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. Taylor Phillips is my Facebook personal profile. I have a Detroit sports page, Taylor Phillips's Detroit Sports page, and also Taylor Phillips's Detroit Sports Group. You can also search me on Twitter at DT2Phillips, and search me on LinkedIn and Google and YouTube, Taylor Phillips. Also, there is a chat window on blogtalkradio.com, so you can comment your opinions on there. Before we begin, here are the guidelines for each and every show, including this one. If you have called in, stay on the line. If you hang up by mistake, not a big deal. Call in again. 646-478-4837 again is the number. Number 2, keep it very clean. Number 3, treat each other with respect. Number 4, if you don't know much about Detroit sports, you can still just listen in. Number 5, stay on the topic of the Pistons. And number 6, I will ask at least one question as the show rolls along, and maybe go off the record as well. So, the Pistons are starting to come alive. As of late. It all started last 2 Fridays ago. When the Pistons snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 97-90 win in Sacramento, and then after the loss to the Lakers a week ago, they beat the Knicks at the Palace 92-86, but lost back-to-back games against the Hawks from Atlanta. By the way, that Pistons win against the Knicks was the first one since March 18th of 2011 when the Pistons won 99-95. And let me look that one up here. And that was at the Palace of Auburn Hills at home. Just another horrible season there back in that day. But that is unlike today's Detroit Pistons, who have their head coach Maurice Cheeks, Chauncey Billups coming back already, Josh Smith and Brandon Jennings and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And others. So, fast forwarding to the Hawks losses, the biggest problem that caused them is the lack of defensive coverage at the 3-point line. And they leave opposing 3-point shooters open way too many times, and when they hit those threes, that just kills you. And you just can't let those things happen. I don't care how great your defense is, or how great you say your defense is. You just have to cover the arc. You got to do a better job covering the arc. But earlier today, earlier today, the Pistons beat the Brooklyn Nets 109-97 by scoring 56 points in the paint. Rodney Stuckey scored 25 points off the bench. I think he led the Pistons in the scoring department too. Check that, make it 27. The Pistons outscored the Nets in the paint 20-0 in the third quarter. And my Mozilla Firefox right now is being an ass. It's freezing out. Now it's breaking free. Wait, there we go. Let's see. Last I saw, when I was watching the recorded Pistons Nets game, there was one point in the final minute where I saw the Pistons were out scoring the Nets 56-22 totally in the paint. I think the Pistons managed to finish that 56-24. And they've been doing a great job in the paint. That's one of the things they should keep up. Plus their 3-point shooting has been pretty good, I guess. 29.4 from behind the arc. That maybe it's not all that good, but threes are hard to hit. But this is the NBA. You gotta shoot better at the arc actually than that. But the Pistons shot 70% flat from the free throw line today. The Nets shot 72.2%. The Pistons have also out-rebounded the Nets 44-35. 13-8 offensively. They limited the turnovers, which appeared to be 9. The Nets turned the ball over 17 times. The Pistons have outscored them on the fast break 13-5. Their biggest lead was 16, and the Nets' biggest lead was 10. And the points in the paint, which I tried touching on, was indeed 56-22. That was right the first time. Excuse me for a second. I'll be right back. Just less than 1 minute, I promise. All right. Well, as I promised, I'm back. 12 and a half minutes left in into the show. If anybody has an opinion or wants to join in on the conversation, 646-478-4837 is the guest call-in number. Write this down if you will. You want to get a piece of paper or a little sticky pad or whatever. Sticky notepad. All right, ready? 646-478-4837. You can write it down on your arm or your hand or the palm of your hand if you want to, with a pen, and then just call in. But all in all, the Pistons are still lacking coverage in the arc most of the time, every game. Opposing threes hurt every time. So the Pistons stand right now at 5-8. Third place in the Central Division, behind the 6-6 Bulls and the 12-1 Pacers. They're ahead of the 4-10 Cleveland Cavaliers and the 2-10 Milwaukee Bucks. The Pistons are starting to like I said, the Pistons are starting to come alive. They're starting to climb up the ladder in the standings. They appeared to be the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. How surprising is that? That's just amazing. I want your opinions on that. 646-478-4837 is the number. I'm going to type this down right now on my Facebook. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, so I just typed in on my Facebook, hard to believe the Detroit Pistons have climbed up to eighth place in the Eastern Conference. It's just that is still quite amazing. If they keep climbing up, they'll be at least fourth or fifth place in the Eastern Conference, and that would be great. I mean, we really can't expect the Pistons to be the top dog quite yet. It would be by far the coolest thing ever. But the thing is, the main goal for the Pistons is just to make the playoffs somehow. Whether you're 8th place or 4th or 5th, just as long as you stay in that dance, you're good to go. You just got to keep on rolling along. The Pistons are doing really good. They still have some flaws, including the three-point defense, or the lack thereof. But Josh Smith, I wanted to touch on. Maurice Cheeks decided that Josh Smith won't not to start Josh Smith in Friday's loss to the Hawks at the Palace, because Josh Smith missed practice Thursday, and Josh Smith said he blamed nobody but himself. He said that just today, and so people are blaming Maurice Cheeks for that, and I guess they got kind of caught flat-footed there, or red-handed, whichever. Caught a little on the wrong foot. Some Piston fans need to realize that it's not Maurice Cheeks' fault. When players miss practice, they have to serve punishments like this, and they can't miss practice. They have to practice every time as scheduled, every day as scheduled, every scheduled day. And that's what preparation to winning is all about. Preparation to greatness. And so I move on to the upcoming games here. Oh, would you look at that? The Pistons have a game tomorrow at the Palace against the lowly Milwaukee Bucks. Tomorrow at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. Same time, same channel for Wednesday's game against the Chicago Bulls and Friday's game against the offensively powered Los Angeles Lakers, who don't have Kobe Bryant or Steve Nash, or did not have Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash a week ago. I'm gonna have to check on those dudes' statuses pretty soon, just when I get the opportunity. The most evenly matchup of the week that I'm looking at is the Pistons against the Bulls on Wednesday. The Bulls are still trying to shake off that severe injury that Derrick Ross had to take. their point guard. He suffered a torn meniscus, and just today he had his meniscus reattached, and the Major Sports Network on Facebook, the Majors Sports Network, that is, you can search them on Facebook, and they said that he will likely Derrick Rose will likely be done for the season, and that was my prediction right off the bat. And torn tendon injuries like that can really ruin a player's season. It can happen to everybody like that. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of other injuries that can happen out there, and I think, and in fact, I definitely think the Bulls will be in at least a bit of a pinch without Derrick Rose. It'll still be a hard-fought battle between the Pistons and the Bulls, but I think I like the Pistons down the stretch. And the way they're climbing up, the way they're climbing the ladder in the standings, and the Bulls 6-6, it's still a very even record. That's average. It could get worse though, having to play without Derrick Rose for the Bulls, and I still feel sorry for the poor guy. I really do. No sarcasm intended. I am very serious about this. My prayers and condolences go out to him and his family. And with that, we have less than 6 minutes to go. And I ought to thank the Majors Sports Network on Facebook for giving me that update, for posting it on there. We really appreciate their comments right now, their updates in posts on Facebook. Everything they do. Keep up the good work, guys. That's what sports media is all about. Posting updates and describing in details what's going on the playing surface. So with that said, less than 5 minutes left in the show now. Are there any callers? 646-478-4837. I'm taking them right now. Anybody? So, that week will wrap up the month of November for the Pistons, and then they start the month of December at home against the Philadelphia 76ers. That is 3:30 tip-off start time. That is on Fox Sports Detroit. I will set that to record since the Lions are having their Sunday off after playing the Packers at home on this upcoming Thanksgiving Day Thursday. Very important matchup, especially a very important NFC North Division matchup. Pistons' first road game against the Bulls, however, I want to touch on in advance, is Saturday, December 7th. That is 2 Saturdays from now. It can be seen at 8 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit and WGN America and WGN TV locally in the Chicago area, in the Metro Chicago area. So with that being said, I'm still taking callers with over 2 minutes left in the show. Nobody? All right then, that's about all the time I have and ground I have to cover for tonight's Pistons edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. This upcoming Tuesday at 11 p.m. it is a special Thanksgiving Day Lions edition. I will recap their pathetic loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Ford Field. What I think about their coaching staff's mistakes and whatnot, and then I'll preview the Lions versus the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. Until then, this is Taylor Phillips signing off by saying, have a good rest. See you in 2 nights, everybody. TTFN, ta-ta for now.